Hi everyone, I'm Professor Sally Eves, CEO of Tomorrow's Tech Today, and a very warm welcome to the latest episode in our new LinkedIn Live series, exploring the people and the stories behind some truly inspirational SAP Innovation Award winners. These are the awards which celebrate the achievements of forward-thinking companies and individuals that are disrupting industries, helping the world to run better and improving people's lives. Today, we are focusing in on Barclays and how the power of unlocking virtual card payments is really changing the game for purchasing, particularly around one-time or unknown suppliers, making it much more easy, seamless, and reducing points of friction. So let's explore all the details. And to do so, I'm delighted to be joined by Ben Walker, who is Director of E-commerce and Platform Partnerships at Barclays Card Payments. Welcome, Ben.
Hi, Sally. Nice to see you again, and thank you for the opportunity to talk about the SAP partnership today.
Fantastic. Lovely to see you again. Last time was at Sapphire. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. We did a lot of filming that day, didn't we?
We did. It was a good session.
Excellent. Lovely. Fun memories of that. So for the benefit of the audience today, could we just spend like the opening couple of minutes just saying a little bit more about yourself and your role, in fact, your new role in the last month, I believe?
Yeah, I mean, things with the SAP partnership haven't changed that much in terms of my remit. I think my team is focused on Barclays Cards partnerships with the key strategic platforms in the market for both making and taking payments, creating great customer experiences, helping our customers deliver their payments experiences in control as well. So providing seamless customer experience, taking the friction out of the process, making sure they're compliant. And we've realized over the years we cannot do this alone. We have to partner to bring the best outcomes for our customers, and hence that's why the partnership with SAP is vital to this proposition.
Absolutely. And in terms of this specific initiative, I know we've spoken about it a little bit beforehand, but I wonder if we could go back to basics, if you will, and just kind of really describe what the main goals, the challenge essentially that this project was looking to address for your customers.
Absolutely. So a number of years ago, when we were developing our B2B payments portfolio, it became pretty clear that we had to be integrated into our customers' systems in order to scale this business. You couldn't do it standalone. You couldn't have it where a customer was trying to make a payment in one ERP system, having to come out of that to make the payment. How do you reconcile that? How do you keep it in control? How do you make it frictionless? So anything that we were doing in the market, our customers were telling us had to be integrated. And that was fairly ad hoc. So what we did is we went out and commissioned some research to a wide number of customers. And that affirmed for us the real customer need out there was make it integrated, make it easily integratable, and also address certain pinch points in the process as well. So you mentioned the one-time vendor issue there.
Yes.
In the world of paying suppliers, you will have your regular vendors, the vendors you pay for repeatable goods, but a large percentage of spend does go to ad hoc vendors and vendors you pay one time. And we couldn't believe the time and cost involved in adding these. It can be a few £100, a few months to do it. It's a massive amount of time and cost just to do that. So we needed to try and find a solution to take that pain away from our customers and make sure that this was a frictionless experience.
Absolutely. And again, that's something I've experienced firsthand as well, particularly the influence of COVID and so many kind of new types of arrangements taking place. And during that kind of startup, scale up kind of process, I'm seeing so many people and like the growth of gig economy and things like that as well. So many people are going through that. So this maverick ad hoc spend, both from both points of view as well. It just adds in so much time, complexity and additional spending. You're absolutely spot on. So yeah, it's a common problem, I think, that so many people have experienced, particularly accelerated over the last couple of years. So in terms of the project itself, from a tech point of view, but also from a business point of view, how did you look at this and what have been the key kind of benefits you had so far?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think we had to ensure that we selected the right partner. I think in selecting SAP was kind of, an obvious choice for us in a way because SAP are already a big partner of the Barclays Group. We are a customer of theirs and vice versa. So we knew they have the expertise of business process management, of the workflows that are involved. And also, when you look at SAP Ariba and S4HANA Public Cloud, and SAP Business One, which is the systems we've integrated to, the reach they have to customers was invaluable to make sure that we could market this effectively and distribute this effectively with a partner. So there was consideration about that commercial aspect in terms of partnership, and then really it was a question of scoping out how we do it, and that was one of the sort of key challenges of the project. There are considerations that have to be made when you're entering into this. Firstly, what you're building, will it be the right tech stack for the customer? You might build a solution in one part of the system, but does that marry up with everything else the customer needs? That's a really, really key part of what you need to do. And also, you think you've tested the market, but will it meet the customer objectives? Are you really, really going to drive at that? And I think what's interesting is that in engaging with customers as they start to adopt this, that it can be quite iterative. These processes are not simple at all, and there's no one and done solution. So whilst a lot of potentially smaller businesses will pick this up as the standard product, there will be cases where we have to customize with some customers as well.
Absolutely. And when I was looking at the entry for this, because funnily enough, this is one I was judging as well, some of the stats that you supported the entry with were really, illuminating. So, for example, the number of small businesses in particular that are closing due to the issue of late payments, the knock-on effect, particularly when you add it now, when you look at things like energy crisis and the additional costs so many businesses are facing, this could be a make and break, and whether, a business can continue to grow and let alone operate. So it really is a massive problem for so many.
It's a really good point. You bring that side into it, Sally, we haven't quite mentioned. I mean, not only are you taking the friction out of payment processes and saying, oh, look, we're going to make it easier for you to pay your suppliers within the ERP system. It makes it frictionless. It means that you control that maverick spend. On the other side of the process, suppliers can get paid earlier, because as a buyer, what you can say is, well, look, I've got this system. You accept cards. Let's transact in this way, and I'll pay you earlier, and therefore you can negotiate better terms with your supplier. It
Absolutely.
also, for the buyer, they can benefit from the working capital that they don't spend. They're using our credit facility instead, so they can generate working capital benefit. They can get rebates from the card. So there's financial benefit both to the buyer and supplier. And as you say, a lot of businesses go out of business because they don't get paid. It's as simple as that. So if we can help that, then all the better in terms of making that outcome possible for suppliers.
Absolutely. And I think the latest stats, it's almost like 7 billion UK pounds of potential savings are being missed by CFOs at the moment around that kind of opportunity lost, really, about, early payment discounts and that type of thing. So again, from both sides of that perspective, there's a real opportunity here. Alongside that, getting rid of, I've got a visual in my head of cogs and it's kind of like removing those points of friction, isn't it? If you know what I mean. So whichever way you look at this, the innovation ability, the experience ability, and obviously the cost savings, etc., really huge in terms of impact. So great to see that. And in terms of bringing this solution, so Precision Pay, virtual card solution to life, what was your biggest challenge in terms of that? Was it business, the communication, the buy-in, or was it more the tech integration point of view, or a combination?
Well, look, because we were the first with this, I think there's convincing the business that the innovation is the business case is strong. And Barclays Card, we've always innovated. We've always been there, with chip and pay and contactless on the consumer side. We were the first bank to have an ATM in the high street. So we're already, everyone thinks of Barclays as this huge 300-year-old bank, or, we're always front and center when it comes to new ideas. So innovation is not foreign to us. So getting that internal buy-in, you need to make sure your business case is right. But that was now the case is proving out. It's rolling out nicely. But yeah, I think the technical integration and the work it took to bring that into the SAP systems was probably the biggest challenge. We had a tech partner in Deloitte who I work with very closely as well, and they were surprised along with us and SAP as to the amount of complexities this threw up. So it's been a challenge, and all credit to all the teams for getting through it and bringing this to market. So definitely I would say the tech side is something. Be prepared for the unknowns when you're innovating. The things that you just don't know. You just don't know if they're going to happen or not, and you need to be prepared to get around them.
Absolutely. And I think now with that combination, so businesses that are using SAP Ariba and ERP as well, they can really now leverage those benefits of those challenges you've worked through, because it really is, the way I looked at this, it's kind of this end-to-end, much more simple, huge issue, and a procure-to-pay experience essentially that you've brought to life here with all the benefits we've described. So that's fantastic, and I love the teamwork that's coming to the fore there. It's never all just about the technology, is it? It's the people and it's the culture and it's that coming together that makes things happen at the end of the day. So that facilitation of the power of partnership across those three entities, I think, is really coming to the fore with what you're saying. So I love that. And if I may, I'd love to kind of look ahead a little bit now too. And you really described in a lovely way how Barclays has been right at the forefront in so many ways at kind of accelerating the innovation curve around financial services and other areas too. I might come on to sustainability later if I may as well. But I love the fact that you're doing that. So from your point of view, kind of what next? Where are you looking to next as the next kind of innovation trajectory point?
Good question. I mean, I think it's... This will really come about. I'm going to be totally honest with you, Sally. I don't have the answer right up front because this has been a long project to get out. So I think we're just all glad to have it there. But where this will come from is the customer, because this is new. The customers and the partner networks we're working with are adding nuances to this all the time and saying, "Have you thought about it from this direction? Have you thought about it from that direction?" And I think that will help us iterate and help us come up with, the next sort of big thing in this area. Well, not necessarily next big thing, the next thing to drive, a good outcome for the customer. You mentioned ESG. It's a good point. I think one of the suite of products we have with SAP is the Barclays Card Payment Intelligence tool that enables us to analyze the spend file or the spend of a company to show them the benefit of using our virtual card product. We're looking at a way to bring ESG into that tool to not only show, okay, here's the money you could save, but also by profiling the suppliers in that supply chain and that payments chain, actually what the ESG impact potentially is and where you can improve that. And that's discussions, we've kind of had conceptually, but with ESG being so high on the agenda, it's definitely something we would look to include.
I love that. And I love how you're showcasing there new drivers of innovation. You're so right. I think consumers are increasingly conscious. We've had quite a lot of expectation and behavioral change, particularly accelerated over the last couple of years. And that is becoming a massive driver, and even ecosystem partners as well. As you said, the resonance there around ESG and not just being transparent about commitments there, but truly committed and accountable about it. So that measurement really matters. So I'm really interested to see where you go there. And again, that integration, I'm sure, will be top of mind to get measures that you can kind of see in that single pane of glass. So you don't have different kind of metrics over here and over here. You're actually bringing them together to show that shared value impact. So yeah, I think that's really exciting to see that kind of sneak peek of what might come next. But yeah, that's fantastic. I love that. As you said, the active listening to the consumers and what they're asking for, it has to be the way forward. So it's great to see that. It sounds exciting trajectory ahead. Fantastic. Thank you. And what we'll do as well, as we come to the end of our LinkedIn Live today, I can see some extra questions and things in the chat, and we'll get back to those directly too. We'll also be sharing in the show notes and in some other sharing around this episode as well, a few of the examples that we've discussed in this project today too. So thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Ben, for being with me today.
Thanks, Sally. Always a pleasure. Look forward to speaking again soon.